This is episode 114 of the Arts Academy podcast with Victor Varnado and Roxxy Haze. How to write a book in a day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Arts Academy podcast. It's me, Dean Victor Varnado, and Headmistress Roxxy Haze. Together again, my friend.
Hey, we're back at it, baby.
Yeah, we're doing it for the people. Now,
hello, Victor.
Hello, Headmistress Roxxy Haze. How's it going? So today we're going to talk about what? Are we in like really out of sync or something?
Oh, is it a lag?
There's super lag. It's because I think you hear me like a long time like later than I'm talking.
All right, let me refresh.
All right. All right, everybody. We're just waiting for the refresh to happen.
Okay. What about now?
I think we're better.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah,
y'all.
You seem to be responding at a normal pace now.
All right. Want to do the intro again?
Yes. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Arts Academy podcast. I'm Dean Victor Varnado. This is Headmistress Roxxy Haze. We are here back again, ready to do this. Are we ready, Roxxy?
We back at it, baby.
Yes, we are. We are back at it. Now, this episode is how to write a book in a day. This is kind of like a side episode. Let's say this episode is sponsored by by Magic Bookifier, because that is an app that I created with my team. And I made it specifically because of this podcast.
Ooh.
Because I wanted to take an episode of this podcast that was really popular and turn it into an ebook. And then I realized that I could teach AI how to do that. And with that, what that means is that you can use AI to do a lot of the busy work in writing. It's not going to finish it for you, but it's going to like take you from your idea to your first draft like much faster. Anyway, so let's just check it out. And and in the show notes, if you're listening to this online, in the show notes, there's actually a link that is in there that'll get you 10 free credits. So if you want to go on the Magic Bookifier and try out making a book or two, then you can use it for this. So let me tell you how the Magic Bookifier works, and then we will show it to you, and then we'll talk about writing a book in a day. Okay? And then we'll talk about the difference between writing a book with the Magic Bookifier and writing a book with say ChatGPT or something like that. Sounds good? Well, let's go. Roxy, you're gone. What happened?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Oh, but now you're me when I'm young.
It kept lagging. I turned the camera off to see if it does better.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it is. Okay. Hey, everybody. I love doing that voice. Okay. So let me share my screen. Boom. Okay, we're about to look at the Magic Bookifier. All right. Okay. So anyway, here it is. It's at magicbookifier.ai. Bookifier, like purifier. And if I was going to write a book in a day, this is exactly how I would use it. I'm going to log in right now. And okay, so when I log in, I get to the ebook creator. And the ebook creator is really simple. What you can do is if you've got like a podcast, or you just want to talk about something, or you've got a basic idea, it can write an entire book based on your idea. So like, for instance, let's write an ebook right now. Let's say, what do you want to write an ebook about? Roxy.
Cupcakes. I don't know why.
Cupcakes.
Can you hear
me? Are you a
me?
fan of cupcakes? Yes, I can hear you. Are you a
Hello?
fan of cupcakes? Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, there. Yes.
Are you a fan of cupcakes? I think you're way out of sync
yes,
again.
I love cupcakes.
I think you're way out of sync again.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Let's refresh. You want to start on the cupcake book? I'll be right back.
All right. She's gonna be right back. Oh.
Okay, let's see now.
All right. I think we're good. Can you let's say hi.
What up, baby?
Okay, sounds like you're doing it. Okay, so we're gonna write a book about cupcakes. All right.
Cupcakes.
So this is just a demonstration. In actuality, what you could do is you could, if you have a recording of yourself talking about cupcakes, you can upload the audio of yourself talking about cupcakes. If you've got like a Twitter thread that you were blazing people on cupcakes, you could do that too. But let's just make our own cupcake book. So what about cupcakes? You just want to like how to make cupcakes, or what is it?
The history of cupcakes.
Do you know anything about the history of cupcakes?
I know absolutely nothing.
Oh, so let's do one where let's do a book about something you know something about.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. The history of Ninja Turtles.
So the history of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So yeah, because this is building it from something that you need a base for it.
Right. Yeah. So if you were able to talk expansively about the history of Ninja Turtles, we're not necessarily going to put in like a huge text tome right now, but give me an idea about what you want this book to be about.
The original animated series, which is what, 87.
Mm-hmm.
The different characters and why they based them off of the Renaissance painters, the original comic book, and just the tone difference, the toys, why each character had a different weapon.
The original comic and the tone difference. Okay, I'm just putting in a bunch of stuff like that. I'm not saying that this is a full thing, but here it is. So like if you wanted to write this book and you just went in and typed in like the subjects you wanted to talk about, okay? Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna just have it start working. Okay, so now it's making that book. Now let's do another one. Let's make a book where you don't know anything about it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go now to the Magic ebook auto writer. All right. So let's say this is the history of cupcakes. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now we're going to tell it to write that book. So the auto writer, what it does is it just takes a title and then it expands on that idea. It just takes a title and expands on the idea. So let's check on the first book, the history of Ninja Turtles. Okay, so now it has made potential chapters. Okay, the chapters are the animated series, the Renaissance connection, the characters, the original comic, weapons matter, and occult phenomenon. Okay, so it's going to make 6 chapters on this. Mm-hmm. And so basically it took your idea about like what you wanted your book to be about, and then that became the outline that it started working on. And so and so what's going to happen is you're going to be able to take the chapters that it makes, and you're going to be able to use those as your first draft. Mm-hmm. Right. So let's talk about the history of cupcakes. So the history of cupcakes, it's made its own outline, the origin of cupcakes, the rise of cupcakes in America, the art of decorating cupcakes, the science behind baking perfect cupcakes, and cupcake culture today. Okay. And then also the future of cupcakes. All right. So it looks
I'm excited about that book.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea. Okay. So now you can see, okay. So now it looks like it wrote like a good chapter on the animated series. The chapter on the Renaissance connection is done. The characters chapter is done. Is this whole book done? No, it has a couple more chapters left to write. Okay, but basically, so now you're going to get a general chapter that you can then take and then start working on. So you can, because there's some things that are just definitely going to be, the same no matter who is writing the book, like specific, things about like how the characters came to be. But here I think that it's a starting point. for you. So if I was going to write a book in an afternoon, I think it would be really easy. Like if you wanted to do like the history of all things 80s, and you just started putting in the history of the Ninja Turtles, the history of He-Man, the history of blah blah blah, and then those became sections in your larger book. Like that's an easy way to start generating material, and that's also the type of book that you think a lot of people might pick up. It's basically, as long as you have like the idea, you can get to something that you can work with much faster. And I think that's why I created this app.
Yeah, just to cut out some of the time. So if I already have a book, let's say I already started writing a book, would the Magic Book of Fire still be something that I could utilize? And if so, how?
Yeah, well, if you already have a book and you just wanted to create extra material for that book, you can also use the chapter creator. So the chapter creator is different. So the chapter creator is more like a 1-to-1 ratio or data dump ratio. So like where with the ebook creator, you can put in your ideas and then it expands on them. The chapter creator, it basically is like a rewriter. So if you wanted to write a chapter fast, what you can do is you could just talk through the chapter. So say I had a book and it was called Snow. Okay. A book called Snow, and the book was this chapter was about sledding. And then I could just do this for the chapter, and I could just be like, I'm just going to use the voice to text on my computer to do this. Sledding is so much fun when you are properly dressed. Because if you're not properly dressed, then you're going to have a problem. You could get hypothermia, or your parents would be really mad at you if you come home with a cold, period. To properly sled, you take your sled to the top of the hill, you pull your plastic shield thing to your chest and jump on it, and then slide down the hill, avoid rocks and trees. So this is going to be a great chapter.
It was the upward inflection.
So then I can tell it to create a chapter, and so now it's gonna write a chapter for the book Snow based on sledding. So basically, if I had a book called Snow and I wanted to add a chapter on sledding, then I could use it to generate that information or generate that first draft pretty quickly as well. And so it's still writing that one, but it'll be done sooner or later. But the history of cupcakes is totally finished.
Hey.
Yeah, the history of cupcake is done. You've got 2,000 words on the history of cupcakes. And then the history of the Ninja Turtles as another 2,500 words, 2,400 words.
So this is really good for like short ebooks, right?
Yes, it is good for short ebooks now. However, in about a week, you're going to see it be really good for long books too.
Okay.
Because we're releasing a new build.
Dope.
Like right now, what you could do is you could piece together things to make a longer text. It's really interesting because like everybody wants like when we released it, it started with this is our beta version of it and we're expanding. But when we started, there were a lot of questions. People were like, the ebook creator is only going to make something that's up to 3,000 words. How can I get something that's 6,000 words? And I'd be like, make 2. And they'd be like, oh, it happens a lot. They just don't. I mean, I get it. It's software, so they want the software to do everything, and so do I. And so I get where they're coming from. But
okay, I don't want to write it twice. Just you do it.
But there is that's just the basic way that it functions. Now the difference between using ChatGPT and something like this, I think it's pretty obvious, is that this is basically like a one-click solution. And also, it has been tuned specifically to do the task of like writing long-form content. Like, for instance, normally, if you were to go into ChatGPT or something like that, it doesn't automatically like write whole chapters for you. And also, it's also definitely tuned differently too, right? Because we write specific prompts specifically for writing in a fashion which is helpful, creative, fun to read, and doesn't have fluff. Because a lot of the AI writing has a lot of fluff. I mean, I've been researching it quite a bit, so yeah. And then of course, like the biggest thing is that this is aimed at supporting a writer rather than replacing a writer. I think a lot of people use AI without putting in their own 2 cents enough. And this is made specifically to take your ideas and words and help you get your first draft done.
Oh.
Anyway, so if you wanted to write a book in the afternoon, you totally could. Good luck out there to everybody. I created this specifically to help me write books. I've actually written 2 books that are on their way out. One is called How to Write Stand-Up Comedy, where there's a special appearance by Miss Roxxy Haze.
Yeah.
And the other one is called How to Be a Wealthy Artist, which is really about how to set up a simple business model that keeps you alive.
Baby, it is hard.
Yes. We out there, everybody, doing our thing. So I will talk to y'all later. Remember to check us out at Arts Academy on all social media and artsacademypodcast.com.
You can find us at artsacademypodcast.com.